First of all, I want to thank all of you for tuning in to these Thrift Store Finds Mondays and my Thrift Store Finds for quite a while now. I thoroughly enjoy going out there digging, as I've been doing for about 21 or 22 years, ever since I came home from playing in the band in San Diego. And I was at a loss for something to do musically, and records was it. And I just, I have to say I'm a bit obsessed, but I love doing it. I love the hunt. I love, finding them. And yeah, just thanks again. It's just so great to share what I find with all of you guys. So with that, today I'm going to feature a bookstore, a used bookstore that I've been going to ever since I came home from San Diego, home to Reno and North Lake Tahoe. But I've been based down here in Reno for most of these 21 years. It's called Grassroots Books and CDs and blah, blah, blah. I just call it Grassroots. It's wildly popular. And so I'm going to show you what I found there. And on Sunday, you're going to see in just a minute that they have you fill a bag for $5. You can fill a whole, grocery bag for $5. That could be vinyl, cassettes, CDs, books, and people just go nuts. Now you're going to see I didn't get too much, but it was well worth the $5. And I went back another day and I scored a bunch of, on the weekdays, they're $1 a record, but I got a lot of good records. And in between, I have plenty of very, very recent thrift store finds. So have a look at Grassroots Books. Here I am at Grassroots Books, music, movies, and more. Secondhand bookstore. I've been shopping here for a long time. The owner's very nice. Was one of the early customers here. And as the story goes, I believe she started out of her garage in and around Seattle, Washington. Well, let's go on in. And outside around back of Grassroots Books, they have a bag sale. Fill your bag for $5. And here are the records in the back of the outdoor sale. I'm looking for a clean copy of that Rita. Never seen that early Trini Lopez. Okay, let's go over here. Now I'm a really big Lani Hall fan. Of course, she was sang Mas Que Nada, Brazil 66 with Sergio Mendes. And I've never seen that. I'm going to take that at $1. Chris Profi would like some of these Broadway albums. All right, I won't bore you too much. We'll see what I get. Great bookstore, Grassroots Books, in the heart of Reno, Nevada. And just to show you what I did get in my bag for $5, I could have filled this thing up. 2 records and a bunch of CDs. And so this is what I did find on that first day for, fill your bag for $5. And right off the bat, and as you saw in the video, I found a Lanny Hall record, and I love Lanny Hall so much. Vocally, she was with Sergio Mendes, and her standout vocals on Mas Que Nada, Day Tripper, so many great Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66 tracks. This was a great find. This broke down to about 25 cents. And here's the songs. And this is what's really cool. She is one of my top 10 favorite female vocalists. I mean, definitely. And check this out. This is a white label promo for Lanny Hall. Now, I went back the next week to Grassroots during the weekday, and I forgot that they have vinyl all week long. And look at this, guys. Just for Love, Quicksilver. By this time they were just called Quicksilver, not Quicksilver Messenger Service. Couldn't believe I found this one. This was $1. Now, some of these records, I'm going to show a bunch. The jackets aren't great, but the vinyl is easily EX to near mint. At least VG++. And I just don't see any scratches. And this has fresh air on it. Let me show you the gatefold. Here are a couple of my heroes. Here's John Cipollina. David Freeberg's on this. You have, of course, Dino Valenti, Gary Duncan. Just an amazing guitarist, along with Cipollina. Nicky Hopkins plays on this. Gregory Elmore. And I said David Freeberg. Here's the gatefold. So really great. And let me show you what I mean by that clean vinyl. This is on the green Capitol. No scratches. Now, recently on my videos, I've been showing John Renbourn and talking about Bert Jansch. And I've been putting it out there how much I really want to run into Pentangle records. And look at this. Sweet Child, I found it. This was $1. The jacket isn't the best. I know I'm a bit of a jacket freak, but, I could not pass this up. And 2 of my guitar heroes here, Bert Jansch, John Renbourn. Let me show you Bert. There's Bert. And John. Just absolutely wonderful. This is Sweet Child from the Pentangle. And I love Fairport Convention as well. And just look at this. This is the side 4 on the older Reprise. And next, a country rock outfit. They're actually from Chicago and really made their way west. And this is Last Night I Had the Strangest Dream, and this is Mason Prophet. And yeah, this jacket's beat, but the vinyl is EX easily. This is $1. And this is one Mason Prophet I did not have. Here's the back jacket. And this is on Ampex Records. I remember this was on an 8-track. And look at this blue Ampex label. And just in wonderful condition for this. $1 on that. And then I'm really into Richard and Mimi Farina, and this is on Vanguard, and I believe this is after Richard died in the motorcycle accident. And what a loss! What a genius writer! And I'm looking for the album that they do, the great pen song by Richard, Reno, Nevada. And it's not just because I live here. It's a great song. Okay, it's a little bit because I live here too. But here is this record. And this should also be on Vanguard. Let me check. You know, I just got all of these. And these are, I believe these are compiled songs that Richard wrote. And they compiled this record after his death. And you know, it's hard to classify him as just folk because, I mean, he's really that great. And here's another one. And yes, it's a black cover, and it's the anthology. And look, guys, another Quicksilver, and it's beat. But you know what? I like that it's beat because it just, the history of this album is just means a lot to me. You know, growing up here in northern Nevada, Northern California, you know, we were influenced so heavily by Bay Area bands. You know, that'd be East Bay, San Francisco, down the peninsula. And yes, even the Doobie Brothers. Yes, absolutely. I mean, all these bands were just so influential. And here's the inner jacket for this. And you have so many great tracks on this. You have Mona. You have Dino's song, Pride of Man, Local Color. This is just very, very pleased to have this. So another find for $1. Never would have imagined that I would have found Quicksilver Messenger Service for $1. And this is the one Alan Parsons I did not have, and that's Eve. And this was cool. This was $1 as well. And I'll just say it again, you know, hey, the jacket's not that bad on this one. And I love that specialized label for that. Now, from my old favorite thrift store, it's St. Vincent Superstore. They have two, it's a Catholic charity. I just, you know, I hadn't been finding records there at all. And I found a couple actually. And I would never buy a Danny Davis and the Nashville Brass record, but I'm telling you, this one with Willie Nelson is really, really, really good. And you can look at that hype on there. The Nightlife. Yeah, I used to enjoy the Nightlife. Now I go to bed by 10 o'clock. And I like that. That's the Nightlife for me. And this is simply on the RCA. And there's a number of nice, you know, they covered Yesterday's Wine, Rainy Day Blues, and Funny How Time Slips Away. Isn't that funny? It certainly is for me. It just keeps moving on. And I'm telling you, in 21 years of collecting vinyl at thrift stores, I had never, ever run across a Joe Ely record. I was stoked, to say the least. Joe Ely. I mean, I like Jimmy Dale Gilmore, but I'd have to say I really enjoy Joe Ely a bit more than Jimmy Dale. And he covers some Jimmy Dale and Butch Hancock songs from here. He does a Jimmy Dale tune, Tonight I Think I'm Gonna Go Downtown. And Joe wrote Honky Tonk Masquerade, which, of course, is the title here. And here's the back cover. Again, so pleased to find a Joe Ely record on vinyl. I love my Texas country, outlaw country, country rock, whatever you want to call it. Jerry Jeff Walker, Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark. Blaze Foley. If you don't know Blaze Foley, check him out. Now, very surprised from Savers. I don't go to Savers that often, but here in the shrink is Best of Gina Vannelli. And I dig Gina Vannelli. Absolutely. This was a great find, and I believe, yeah, Savers Records are $2. I'll take this any day of the week. And, you know, Brother to Brother, I think that's the title. That's my favorite Gina Vannelli. Now, at Salvation Army, guys, these records are all within 2 weeks, and I even have more. But I had to try to keep this a little bit short. I couldn't believe this. I found a Luther Guitar Allison Nightlife. And yeah, it's a little beat, but wait till you see the vinyl. This has crosscut saw on it. I mean, it, of course, Nightlife, you know, that Willie Nelson wrote. And this is just a killer Luther Allison record. Now, I'd love to find his earlier releases, and this is on Gordy, and this is just squeaky clean, minty fresh vinyl. So yeah, sometimes I will, if the jackets are beat, I'll take it if I really want it and the vinyl is that clean. And you know, I love Sheila E, and this is on Paisley Park. And I paid $2 for this at my friend's secondhand store, and I just did not have this. And this is only my second Sheila E 12-inch record, and this is Cuckoo's on here in Paradise Gardens. And anything on Paisley Park, I'm going to buy. Prince, whoever. I believe The Time, right, Mark? The Time's on Paisley Park as well, I believe. But you gotta love that label. Now, one of my most exciting finds, I mean, you know, nobody knew what this was. That's why they didn't pick it. And that's Hillbilly Jazz. This is David Bromberg, guys. This is from 1975. Vassar Clements is on this. This is Texas swing, country, blues, rhythm and blues. This is just such a great album, and I remember this. Look at this gatefold. This is a double. I paid $2 for this. A double album. And, you know, actually, this is worth a little bit. This is, I think, one of my most valuable finds, and this is on Flying Fish. Hillbilly Jazz. Very, very cool. And, you know, he's doing a lot of like Bob Wills music on this. You've got San Antonio Rose, Texas Blues, Take Me Back to Tulsa, Delta Blues, Breakfast Feud. And I love how one of my favorite David Bromberg songs, I'm just a big David Bromberg fan, all the way from his very first debut, I call it the White Album. Last song for Shelby Jean is on here. And Vassar's Boogie, you know, Vassar Clements, so he's wailing on the fiddle. So once again, Hillbilly Jazz, and I know this is from about 1975. Now, also from Aurelio's store, The Coffer, here is a Premiata Forneria Marconi, that's PFM, the amazing progressive rock band out of Italy. The World Became the World. Look at this. I just did not pay much for this, and I have PFM right over here on CD. I have 3 of them, 3 of the best, in my opinion. But I didn't have this, and I'm just completely stoked to have this PFM. And I love my progressive rock. And here's the label. This is on Manticore. And if you don't know PFM, stream it. If you love progressive rock, you got to get into it. And getting close here, guys. On my flip video from Reno Coffee Company, 2 people, Christoph Forrest, first of all, told me, JT, you passed up Bobby Humphrey Satin Doll. I went back and got it. It wasn't cheap. I think this was $16. And he is a flautist. And I'm telling you, you'd think, oh, a flute album, you know, who? Herbie Mann, whatever. Herbie Mann has a few very outstanding albums, by the way. But this thing's a cooker, man. This is an amazingly beautiful album. Now this was just amazing. This is the Crystal Mansion. And this is from 1972. I mean, I had never heard of this. This is a very, very obscure album. This is completely fantastic. This is jazz, rock, country, soft progressive rock, a little psych. Every track is different. I'm just so pleased to have this, and this was recommended to me to get. This was $20. This was the very first record when I went into Reno Coffee. It was right up there in front. And I'm really glad I went back to get this. I've only streamed it, been real busy this week with Sean's school, with this and that. So once again, check out, oh, let me show you. This is on my cousin Sherry dated Robert, the manager for Funkadelic, Parliament, and Rare Earth back in the mid-70s. And so I met Robert in Vegas. He really liked my cousin a lot. And I don't remember, I didn't ask him a lot of questions. It was just cool. He had a big coat on, man. He looked like a dude from Detroit, dressed real funky. And this is on Rare Earth Records. And I mean, you know, on Rare Earth Records, there were a lot of really, really good releases. There we go. And we're getting down there. Now, this is the only record that was not from a thrift store or a secondhand store. I went back to David's store, Discology, right there on the Truckee River that I filmed. And, I went to pick up a record for Aaron Mutha Alamere, and it wasn't in good enough shape, so I just couldn't buy it. But I did buy something for myself, and that's from Alice, guys. Lace and Whiskey. Never had this on vinyl. Didn't have to pay a whole lot for it. Actually, $10. If you're in Reno, Nevada, stop by Discology. Call them up first because it's such a small store. Look at him. Really pleased to have this. I only have about 4 Alice Cooper records. And this is this a white label promo? I'm not sure. I got to look into this. I think it's more that it's just a white label because the cover, and this is from about 1977, I believe. So, and here's the songs here. And what's really cool, You and Me, the big hype, right on the jacket. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for a 100% bona fide Thrift Store Finds Monday. Well, this almost was. Used bookstore and a lot of thrift store records, and just with a couple of suggested records from you guys, subscribers and VC members. Thanks.